of the most important things that we can do is we can try and win the hearts and minds. This time we've got right now is a time to win hearts and minds. It's a time to, when we're talking to people and the subject of refugees, so-called refugees, is brought up. If the word racist comes up, if somebody is talking on in a racial manner, these three areas or elements that tie into these three areas must be spoken of, and not politically correct, wrapped up in chains and buried in under the floor somewhere. This mustn't happen. You've got to talk about it. People have got to talk about it and understand what's going on. So getting back to those 3 points, you've got the immigration, so-called immigration crisis. They're not immigrants, they're invaders. They are invaders, and at best they should be temporary. At best, the temporary visitors who are going to be shown the door shortly, ideally. Secondly, when it comes to anyone who says you know the phrase, folks. Anybody who says the phrase, "I'm not a racist, but sentence," shut that shit down right now. First of all, racist is a made-up frickin' word by the Jew Leon Trotsky, or Lev Bronstein to use his birth name. Made up by him, hijacked by the liberals, weaponized by the liberals, smacked around white people's heads ever since. No more. If they try smacking you around the head with a racist term, explain. Racist doesn't fucking exist. It's a made-up word. Oh, but some yeah, prejudice, xenophobia. These are key elements of self-preserving a society, okay? Self-preservation and prejudice and xenophobia go hand in hand. If you aren't self-preserving something, you run the risk of losing something. Can you be overly xenophobic and over-prejudiced? You're damn right you can. You're damn right you can. That's why it's a responsible road, and it's a responsible line to walk. But when the whole racist word comes out, you know what to say, folks. You know what to say. And if somebody's like open-mouthed and thinking, you can say, look, you can check this. I'm not lying to you. I'm just telling it like it is. That's the racist conundrum explained right there, folks. The number 3 part is the racial angle. As you go through your day-to-day lives, you're going to be basically running into people who are not obviously white. Of course, they're not European. They might be another race entirely. They might be a mixed race. You know, these folks are around in the world. There's a lot of, and nowadays there's a lot more of them than there used to be. You've got to be even-handed. You can't really sort of like hate them. You can't really suddenly be an enemy. You know, you can't be. You don't have to be a friend. I mean, if I know somebody who's mixed race, I'll be courteous to them, and I'll obviously, you know, I won't fucking automatically consider them my enemy or anything like this. But I won't like all of a sudden treat them like my folkish long lost brother or something like this, you know. So you've got this angle to look at, and people of nationalist alignment always understand that when you have people from different bloodlines mixing it up, and a child comes along, you know, this causes issues. This is fucking scientific. This is empirical. So you've got to try and point these things out in a very reasonable manner and, you know, be decent about it. I've actually spoken to some mixed race folk on YouTube, because they had a YouTube channel, these two girls. These were white and black, they were biracial, they were fucking mulatto, to use the other vernacular for it. And I wasn't even racially aware. I wasn't racially awakened. I was racially aware, but not racially awakened. And I would say to them, I say, look, I says, you know, I think you gals know the score. I says, I'm just saying that if everyone was like you, I says, we wouldn't have our individual identities. And they agreed with me. They totally saw what the reality was, and they agreed with me. They knew this. They were friends. They were two girls who were friends because of their mixed race makeup, their being, you know. They were friends. But this is just an angle you've got to be intelligent about it. You've got to be reasonable about it. You can't be fucking what the liberal mainstream cultural Marxist brainwashing view is, that we fucking all seem to think that mixed race people should be wiped off the face of the planet or something like this. No, this is bullshit. This is not fucking true. This is not the case at all. And I might even go into this in another video where I talk about this a bit, the side effects of it that are coming through into society for the past 70, 80 years in a large amount. Anyway, I've waffled enough. That's just something I'm just throwing out there to you folks. It's, just having the old fireside chat with you, I guess. Anyway, as ever, folks, stay strong. Watch out for the coming times, because I think we're in for a little bit of a rocky road, depending on who's elected. Rockier if Hildebeest is elected, but we shall see. Anyway, as always, Europa Infinitus.